presence has been a source of comfort, strength, and hope. When we seek him with open hearts, he fills us with his peace. Let us reflect on his word. In the book of Psalms, we are reminded of the light that shines upon those who look to the Lord. David writes, Psalm 34:5, "They looked unto him and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed." When we look to God, we are filled with his light, and our burdens are lifted. This light does not bring shame, but deliverance. Let us remember that the gaze upon God is never in vain. In the Gospels, Jesus himself turns to the Father, seeking glory for the eternal purpose. We find in the words of Jesus. John 17:1, "These words spake Jesus, and lifted up his eyes to heaven, and said, Father, the hour is come. Glorify thy Son, that thy Son also may glorify thee." Even Christ, in his deepest moments, looked to the Father for strength and glory. He knew that looking to God was the source of his power and purpose. We, too, are called to look up, trusting in his sovereignty. In the book of Acts, we witness the powerful example of Stephen, who, despite facing persecution, boldly looks to God. Acts 7:55, "But he, being full of the Holy Ghost, looked up steadfastly into heaven and saw the glory of God and Jesus standing on the right hand of God." Even in the face of death, Stephen's eyes were fixed on the glory of God. He was unshaken because his heart was anchored in the eternal truth of God's presence. Let us, too, keep our eyes lifted toward God. Let our hearts be filled with the light of his presence as we seek his glory, strength, and peace. For when we look to God, we are never alone. His light guides our path, his glory fills our souls, and his love never fails.